Hey there everybody, I'm Jackie, the Marketing Account Manager at Dirigo Design and Development, and for today's DirigoEdge tutorial, I'll be answering some frequently asked questions from our clients about optimizing website images. Why won't my image upload into the media library? Most of the time, we find that the cause of a failed image upload is because the image exceeds the maximum file size limit for the CMS, or it's a file type that is unaccepted by the CMS. DirigoEdge accepts nearly all commonly used file types for upload, like JPEGs, PNGs, Word documents, PDFs, and even Excel documents. What is the file size limit for file uploads into the media library? DirigoEdge 2.0 will display an error message if the file you're trying to upload is too large, with the limit being 20 megabytes. For those of you using the earlier version of Edge, the limit for file uploads is 6 megabytes. Our recommended file size is under 1 megabyte, with most files being a fraction of that size. If your files are too large, you can sometimes compress them using an external program, or you can consult with a Dirigo web developer to see how we can accommodate your needs. Here's a quick tip. Google wants small pages. Fast and optimized pages lead to higher visitor engagement, retention, and conversions. One of the most performance-hungry assets that a browser needs to download is an image. Larger images cause sites to be painfully slow. Why is the CMS renaming my image when I upload it into the media library? The Edge CMS will rename a file if there's another one in the same location with the same name. Let's say I'm in the Test Images folder. You can see that I have a file in it called DirigoEdge. If I try to upload another file called DirigoEdge, the CMS will rename that file, making it look something like this. If you run into this problem, check to make sure you're not uploading a duplicate photo, and then change the file name. Remember, when naming files, make sure they are free of spaces and special characters, like exclamation points, parentheses, and question marks. You should add a dash in place of spaces. Why does my image appear distorted on my content page? Usually, this is because the image hasn't been saved at the correct size, or because the height and width have been manually entered within the Image Properties window. It could also be because the website has the height and width set in something called a div, or within the CSS. Before uploading an image that is used within an existing design, figure out the height and width requirements so that you are providing the HTML code an image with the correct dimensions. For pages with image galleries, it's usually best to have all of the images the exact same size and orientation. Here's a best practice tip. When choosing images for your website, choose large images instead of small ones. A large image can easily be made smaller without disturbing the quality of the image. When you have a small image and you try to make it larger, pixels get added to the image that weren't intended to be there, which gives it that blurry, distorted look. If you're replacing an existing image with a new one, here's how you can figure out the existing image's dimensions. Open the web page where the image that you're trying to replace appears. With Google Chrome, you should right-click the image and select Inspect Element. This opens the Developer Tools window where you can find height and width. Within Internet Explorer or Firefox, you can right-click an image and select Properties or View Image Info and easily find the image's size. If you're still not sure how big your photo should be, you can always ask a Dirigo team member. Oftentimes, we will provide recommended image dimensions based on the design of your site. I just added an image to my page on the front end. How can I add components like alignment, padding, and alternative text? Start by inserting the image to your page. You can add some formatting to your images when you open the media library, like alternative, also known as alt text, and alignment. Once your image is on the page, you can double-click it to open the image properties. Here, you can enter a URL location if you want to link the image, add alt text, and width and heights. If you've uploaded an appropriate size image to begin with, you shouldn't have to enter into the width and height boxes. You can also add vertical and horizontal space to your images. This comes in handy when you have an image with text around it. Why do my images look good on larger displays but break the design on smartphones? Images that you place on content pages are not by default set to scale up or down to different screen resolutions. For this reason, you should always review your changes on a desktop, tablet, and a smartphone. The simplest fix is to not place images over 300 pixels wide in body copy on templates with large center wells. If you need to use larger images, then the image will need a special CSS treatment. Since every website is different, you'll need to request some code and a lesson from your development group. At a high level, you'll place your properly sized image as normal, and then place a little bit of HTML code before and after the image. This code will scale the image up and down at predefined breakpoints. Larger images placed by your web development group as key elements to the design will always include special CSS treatments. What's alt text and why do I need it? The alt attribute is used in HTML and XHTML documents to specify alternative text, alt text, that is to be displayed when the element to which it is applied can't be rendered. It's also used by screen reader software so that a person who is listening to the content of a web page, for instance a person who's blind, can interact with the element. Alt text should be 5 to 8 words and should not be used for stuffing SEO keywords. That was a popular tactic years ago. In SEO terms, alt text tells search bots what an image is in words. Remember, a search bot can see that there is an image on a page, but it doesn't know what of. To sum up alt text, it's important for accessibility, to generate traffic to your website through search engines, and in place of your image if it can't be rendered. If you have questions about optimizing image using the DirigoEdge CMS, feel free to contact a Dirigo team member. See you next time for another tutorial on using DirigoEdge.